Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh Bashim Shai Bashim Kakwadash. And double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all the hopeful elect and sincere brothers that's doing the work of the Lord in sincerity and in truth. Lord will is going to be a quick and edifying lesson on some info that just that just uh that just got revealed to me again. Short backstory. I believe it was last year. There was some hype on Blackout, the lights going out. I believe this was either the summer or like the winter. Going into the winter last year, there was this big hype of the lights going out. The electric grid going off, because there's always something going on. There's always something to talk about, because everything is happening at the same time. Multiple prophecies are taking place at the same time. Let me get that. Habakkuk chapter 2. This is Habakkuk. Oh yeah, let me start at 1. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the high tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Yeah, because the prophets are watchmen. The prophets have to watch to see, what's going on, what's unfolding, what's taking place, so we could go report it back to the people through preaching and prophesying. Through the foolishness of preaching. You know, I will stand upon my watch. And stand upon your watch meaning you're diligent. You're watching. You're watching. You're being circumspect. You're watching what's going on in the news, and you're making videos. You're in the know. You're you're communicating with the body. To see what's going on. And set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Now that vision is talking about the prophecies, right? Because the word vision going into let me get it. The word vision going into something that's seen. Vision, oracle, prophecy, right? A sight mentally. So you're seeing something in your mind. That's what a vision is. When the Lord will show a prophet a vision. Like like John the Revelator. He was given revelations through visions. By the Most High. You're seeing something in your mind. That's happening. You have a front row seat. You know, spiritually. In your mind, and then you see things happening, and then the prophets would write those things down. You know, and prophecy means to say before. You know, and you're a prophet if you say something before it happens. That's all it means. A dream, and the Lord will reveal things onto prophets in a dream as well. Either a vision or a dream, right? Revelation, revealing something unto them, or oracle, vision. And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right? So make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So these are prophecies are being made plain, because they're being broken down. The scriptures and prophecies are being broken down by the prophets, to the common people, to the people of the Lord, you Israelites that have to repent, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? And to the rest of the world as well, even to the so-called white man, to everybody. The prophets are preaching the work of the Lord. They're breaking down the scriptures the correct way, starting with our apostles and elders on down, right? And whichever Israelite hears the word, you know, and receives the word and wakes up and repent and convert and start serving the Lord, they stop committing adultery, stop eating shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster and all that BS. They stop worshiping other false gods, going into these philosophies and these other religions. Like Christianity is a false religion. The JC, if you know what I mean, what our people worship, the white image of the Lord, that, that's a false idol. That's a false god. Hinduism, whatever. And turn when they turn back to the Lord, and then they start preaching themselves that he may run that readeth it, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. But at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Yeah, so the for the vision is yet for an appointed time. The vision, the prophecies was written thousands of years ago, but now the prophecies are unfolding. They're happening. They're coming to pass in front of everyone's eyes. But the prophets are able to see it and interpret it and link it with the scriptures that this is this prophecy coming to pass. For example, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, going into the MOTB, you know, the Neuralink, that's a that's a good example. And they have the implantable RFID devices that's going to be implanted into a right hand or any hand, and the one for your forehead, an example of that is a Neuralink. So that's a breaking down of a prophecy that was written years ago, which is a vision, right? An appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. Right now we're at the end. Esau would be ruling at the end of the world. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So right now we're at the very end of Esau, the so-called white man's rulership, and right after that is a rulership of the Israelites, a rulership of Yahweh Shai, in the kingdom of heaven. Is going to be with Yahweh Shai and the elect of Israel. And make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. It's speaking right now, it's coming to pass, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So though it seemed like it was tarrying, now it's finally happening. It's not tarrying anymore. The prophecies are happening and time is speeding up. Time is being cut short by the Most High. And these Edomites won't fulfill the NWO that they want to. But let's go back to this. So it says satellite messaging on iPhone. I was under the tunnel, in the train, and then I was on the message app, and then this popped up. Try to get a clear view of the sky. Terrain, buildings, or trees can block connection. And then when I clicked on it, it brought me to this. So these Edomites have everything set up. They have everything set in place for when something happens. They could say, oh well, since this happened, you could do this. They already have things set up in place. For example, when the dollar crash and this stock market crash, they already have things set up. They have a great reset, and then they have digital currency to replace it. To replace the dollar, which is what Donald Trump is pushing for right now. A digital currency. Satellite messaging on iPhone. Esau, I just read that. And this is like evidence that they're planning something. You know, because satellite messaging, when there's a blackout, whether it's a grid takeout, electric grid takeout, or an EMP, EMP attack, then people can charge their phones to solar charging things using the sun, and they could uh uh like send messages by satellite. Pointing your phone up in the air or device up in the air and using the satellites instead of using using all um these I forgot what they're called. Let me look it up. The signal posts that these electric that these mobile phone companies have. These 5G towers that they have. Yeah, cellular cellular tower. 5G signal towers or cell towers are structures that transmit 5G signals. So those aren't going to be working anymore. So they already have it set up to where, you know, or you could just use, satellite as an alternate, you know. So these Edomites have had everything planned out for years. Now, wiser Daniel. Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. Daniel was able, the prophet Daniel was able to interpret dreams. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. So, so the so-called white man have like major advancement in technology. You have cell phones, you have computers. They have right now. They have AI. They have robots. They have automation that's ready and set to take everyone's jobs. You know, driverless cars. It's a dystopian society that we're living in. And these Edomites, they make movies to and they tell people what they're gonna do before they even do it. But these people think it's just movies. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic that's going into business. For example, the ports that have all type of goods coming in from these other countries, and that's going into the tariffs that DJ Trump is placing on these other nations. And that's going to cause all these other nations, including its own allies, to turn their backs and start to hate the whore. Start to hate America. With By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. So, the so-called white man has the world. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The wicked is so-called white man, Esau. So he's proud. He's thinking that there's no way that no one can bring me down, but the Most High is gonna do it. But the Most High is gonna do it. We go EMP, electric grid. This is from last year. It says extremists keep trying to sabotage the electrical grid. What would happen if they succeed? Political extremists have attempted a number of attacks on electrical infrastructure and substations in recent years with a goal of sowing chaos and civil conflict, because that's going to cause a blackout. Let me go down to it. Let me say, conspired, prepared, and trained to attack America's power grid in order to advance their violent white supremacist ideology. What they think will happen is that if there is a crisis, so-called white man says, never let a good crisis go to waste. It will provide cover for violence because there's no power, right? There won't be no electricity or power flowing nowhere. So all the lights are gonna be cut off, and these American people aren't used to not having power, not having electricity, because this is a first world country. Now, people from third world countries, that are immigrants, they're used to that, and they know how to survive without it. If there is a crisis, it will provide cover for violence, but it will also force normal people to engage in violence. Normal people, every when they have basically everything to lose, when they lose everything, they lose it. They become savages, animals, especially when there's no food or water. They're gonna turn into beasts again without no order or self-control. These people are gonna do whatever it takes to get food and feed their family and feed themselves. But it will also force normal people to engage in violence, and that's not what will happen. Instead, she said, all that will happen is old people who need their oxygen machines will die, and it will cost the energy company $1 billion. So the lights, right? The lights, all these businesses need the power, to run their business. And, the senior citizens, oxygen machines, the hospitals, that's going to go down too. If no, it won't. No, when it happens, is going to affect all types of segments of people in society, businesses, schools, hospitals, daycares, you know, you know, uh, morgues, whatever, because this modern day society is run by electrical power, and yeah, this is just interesting. This made me think of you know the fact that there will be a major there will be a major power out, and it's gonna ensue a lot of violence. When you go into uh Sirach 16 and 17. Is it Sirach or Second Ezra 16 and 17? 15 and 16. Sirach 15 and 16. When you go into these chapters, it's gonna get bad. Uh, yeah. Let me start on 17 and done at 19. Second Ezra 15 and 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. They These bridges are gonna be blocked off, or they're gonna be destroyed. They're gonna be unable. Might be blown up. For because of their pride, Oh yeah, and that's that's in so many movies. And because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. You know, when you go into a power outage, that's what it said right here. Force normal people to engage in violence. These people are going to turn into animals. Men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, because you know these these highways are going to be closed off. These trucks is going to be unable to bring food to these stores and supermarkets, and people don't know how to get food for themselves. You know, because planting and farming isn't taught in these cities. So they're going to turn into animals and steal from the supermarket and go after their next door neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, a famine. Be- and because of the lack and because of the lack of bread, for the great tribulation. Yeah, the power grid and go hand in hand with a lot of things. You go into famine as well. But yeah, this is just it's just an observation that made me think. When an EMP or electric grid or whatever, or a cyber attack, that causes a power outage, a so-called foreign attack, a so-called foreign cyber attack or whatever. Because nothing's really foreign, everything's planned or allowed. Because this devil's in rulership, so nothing really happens without him knowing or without him actually doing it through other people. And that's the end of the lesson. Lord will is edifying. All praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai Bashim Akakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great